Welcome back, players and collectors, to my channel, Ren's Collectibles. Today we're going to be looking at the Q&A session that happened in the Metazoo Discord, which, by the way, if you're not part of the Metazoo Discord, you definitely need to join. But creator of Metazoo, Mike Waddell himself, came in and answered a lot of questions that people had, and I am going to walk you through it, break it down, and just get you all the good meat and potato pieces that are relevant, the big questions people really want to know, and lay it out there so you don't have to go back through tons of messages and questions that it's kind of like clogged up the chat a little bit. But needless to say, people were very excited to ask him questions and get some answers. But like I said, I'm gonna break it down for you so you don't have to. Without further delay, let's go ahead and start looking at those questions. All right, so right as he started the whole Q&A, Green Star World had to come out with the epic little meme here it comes. Going into some of the first questions, somebody asked, how do you feel about the crossover set depicting beasties absolutely yamming some alley-oops? And he said working on it, so be on the lookout for some of that. Somebody asked about the SCP release date, and he said it's in December. Somebody had a funny question, said, are you in the Illuminati? Which has been asked of him a few times before. So people think that Metazoo's all a conspiracy and a cult, so yeah, his response, I don't know if you guys saw it, 3rd degree Master Mason. There you go, there's the answer to the month's question. Somebody asked how many secret rares are in UFO, and he said secret rares, question mark? So obviously not kind of coming out with like there are secret rares, but we do know that there kind of are some already in sets, so maybe it's just meant to be a secret. When can we expect PSA to have the promo for grading a Metazoo card with them? And he said soon. Now, soon is a pretty standard generic response, so take everything that says soon with a grain of salt. It could be tomorrow, it could be, a couple months from now. Will binders for UFO be released sooner for this batch so we can protect the cards? And all he did was tag Chaos Crystal Enthusiast, who I don't believe actually answered the question, so we don't know yet. That's still a good question to bring up later. Somebody asked about UFO and onwards. Does a new LGS break out of the catch-22 of needing to put on events to get future allocations, etc., etc.? And his response was basic, just said the LGS kits, which were available in the marketplace for a little while if you were an LGS, or if you have an LGS that's looking to get into it. Keep an eye out for that, but those LGS kits are the way to go. Somebody asked, the promotion of Metazoo products has been very dynamic and interesting. Any plans for traditional promotions like commercials? And he responded with, what's a TV? But it's a fair response. Honestly, we live in the age of information, and even TV is kind of getting outdated. Everything's on the internet or in your phone. For what age will the Netflix show be for, and what type of show will it be? Like Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, etc.? And all he responded with was 13 plus, so it's probably because they've got some like creepy cryptids out there and whatnot, but 13 plus. Will the Whatnot Metazoo crossover be like eBay cards for UFO? He said ping Whatnot and ask them. So very kind of like mysterious answer there, but trying to be funny and not really. He's trying to give answers without giving the answers. Will eBay Wilderness be reprinted? Never. And there's a theme of that throughout a lot of these questions, people asking, will stuff be reprinted, all that kind of stuff, and the answer was always no. Scavenger hunt update is coming soon. Again, take it with a grain of salt. He did have some nice little funny ones in there. Is it acceptable to scratch off my Revive promo card code with a Pokemon coin? And he said, won't the plastic break? So obviously he thinks Metazoo is superior to Pokemon and all that, which, I mean, he's onto something there. Interestingly, this is a question I asked months ago in different circumstances. What is Metazoo doing to survive through tough macroeconomic conditions? And he responded by being the best TCG out there. And might be a kind of a weird response to a lot of people, but that's honestly a pretty good response, considering if you just consider yourself to be the best and you put yourself out there like the best, then yeah, what's to stop you? Approximately how many players participated in the Casters Cup? He said 320 minus 1. Vending machine update? Soon. Any updates on playing cards? Soon. Topps UFO? Yes. Mike, are there plans of figurines other than chibi style of the beasties? He said, yes, a full mini set between Native and War. This one was a big one. When I saw this, I kind of couldn't believe it, but is there any Wilderness cards that haven't been pulled yet? And he said, yes. There's still some Wilderness cards we apparently have not yet seen, maybe some one of one, so keep ripping those packs open. Any prize support planned for MZOs? And he said, yes, MZO stamped cards of prize support sent to LGSs. So again, emphasizing the LGS. Can we expect Nightfall binders to make a return? No, going back to that theme of not really reprinting things. How was the art contest gone? And some tough choices, I suppose. And he said, very tough. And there was a few questions about the art contest, and yeah, I mean, I don't envy them at all for that. I would not want to be a judge of all that. There is some good art that was submitted. Someone asked, how's the book coming along? And he said, very well, thank you. Are the revive boards something you plan on doing for every set, or is there an end in sight for them? And he responded with every set, so be on the lookout for that. Might not be able to get some of the ones that are already out, but you definitely can get some for future sets, so stay tuned for that and keep watching. Any plans of Funko Pops? Yes, that's also a big thing for collectors. Everybody, I mean, you guys know me, I like Funko Pops as well, so I'm definitely going to be collecting some Metazoo Funko Pops when those appear. Are there more than 10 golden tickets out there? No. Another reserve list coming up? Yes. Are you still on track for Topps Metazoo Sapphire this year, and will that set include all of 3 sets? And he said yes. So, coming out soon. Pretty cool, actually. Would you ever consider being part of another card game one day, independent of Metazoo? And he said no. And of course, we kind of expect that, though, you know? Like, he's focused, he's all in on Metazoo, and that is exactly what you want to see out of somebody who's, you know, leading the way, paving the way. So, perfect response. Honestly, didn't need to elaborate any more than that. Will gameplay have standard rotations, or will cards always be available? And he said no. I believe that's to the standard rotations, which is something that Pokemon and Magic do. I'm happy to see that there isn't. So all these cards will be available, as far as we know right now, for gameplay. Somebody was asking a question about improving the print quality, because fake cards are scary and improving, but he said the fakes floating around are horribly bad. But I do want to kind of emphasize that, just like with Pokemon, people get better and better and better at making fakes, so definitely make sure you only buy from trusted sellers and sources like local game shops. What do you think of textured cards now? He's still not a fan of textured cards, so I don't see that coming to Metazoo anytime soon. Somebody asked, through the light of a new day in the wilderness, you encounter Father Time. What do you do next? And he responded with the classic, ask him for more time. And of course, somebody had to bring up this question too. I mean, asking the real questions here. Marvel or DC? And he said he can't say. It's a smart choice. You don't want to upset the fan bases. Any plans for a discard promo card? Blink if it's yes. And he responded with, am I blinking? But to me, that kind of seems like there are plans for that coming soon. So again, emphasize joining the Discord if you are a fan of Metazoo and you have not already. Probably the best question asked today is, what Hogwarts house are you sorted into? And my man said Ravenclaw, and I could not. I mean, this just makes me like Mike way more. I mean, come on, man. Ravenclaw? Absolutely. Let's go. Will there be another opportunity to apply for Metazoo partnership? And if so, can you tell us when? And he says yes, before seance. NFT board member announcement soon? He said soon. Any way to get wholesale from Metazoo except for being a partner? And he said be an LGS and get allocation from our almost 10 different distributors. So obviously they're focusing again on the LGS and going through those chains, which I very much support. Are we going to see actual Metazoo gold or silver coins at some point? He responded with, oh boy, are you in for a surprise? Doubloons? Somebody responded with, like, are we getting Metazoo doubloons? Mike, with the lack of secret rares being pulled, or at least seeming that way in Wilderness, will there be a bump up in the numbers to make them feel more achievable in future sets? And he said, nah. So he's very much content with where they're at right now and having the hunt. So that's kind of exciting. Any update on the Metazoo Gamersup's collab? And he said very soon. Emphasis on the very. What was the print run on Hero Quest? How many cards were made for the 70 card set? And he responded with, Billboard will release the number soon, so I imagine it's going to be based on the number of CDs sold. That's what they're looking at. So more mascot costumes in the work? Yep. Will the NFT token perks ever come to an end? He said no. So obviously no plans for that, which is a smart move. Mike, will we see Wilderness revive before or after UFO comes out? And he said possibly before, which is pretty big considering UFO is only, what, 5-6 weeks out now? So that's pretty big. We could see those before UFO comes out. How many LGS are partnered with Metazoo at the moment? 50. It's a pretty good number. Is there a cryptid too spooky to make a card out of? And responded with yes. So there are limitations to what they are willing to do on a card. An update on UFO print run per SKU, still 100,000, and he said still 100,000. How does the UFO NFT Pin Club box differ from the standard version? And he said it's a different box in a different promo. Somebody asked for a Pokemon Metazoo crossover or other TCGs, and he responded with never, which, again, doubling down on he believes that Metazoo is the best TCG out there, and he doesn't really want he doesn't want Metazoo compared with all these other TCGs, which I don't blame him. Can you partner with GameStop and give us exclusive boxes like Walmart and Target? And he responded with working on it, so we may see some exclusive boxes coming to GameStop pretty soon, which that is very exciting. With eBay getting into live streams like Whatnot, is there going to be partners that are streamers, not LGS, or partner status only for LGS? And he just responded with a smiley face, which again, ominous, kind of mysterious response. Not really sure what to make of it, but it obviously means he cannot give details out on that. How many more sets after Seance? And he said we have 20 years planned, and if he truly does have 20 years planned, that is a huge roadmap and something most people don't have planned out that far, so kudos to you if you truly do. Any hope on getting sanctioned webcam tournaments running? Been working on something, setting up an ongoing basis, etc. But he says online play is interesting and we are working on a client. Right now we are focusing on support play at your LGS. So still trying to build up the LGS presence, but working on a client. So it means soon-ish, eventually, I guess is probably the better term, we will be having a online client. Any updates on the TV show? Cannot wait to see how the characters are portrayed in the animated storyline. And he said, big announcement coming soon. So we might get to see a trailer or something pretty soon about the new show. Any idea of how long you think it might take to get through all the fan art submissions? And he said maybe another 2 weeks, so we probably won't even see updates on that for, I would say, at least 3 more weeks. Somebody out here asking, are you good at playing Metazoo? Asking the man who created if he's good at playing Metazoo. He said, of course, I have hidden cards. Obviously, save the best for yourself, right? Somebody here asked a really good question. Is the best chance to get Secret Rare a booster box? And he replied with all equal. So essentially saying that random booster packs from a booster box versus, the collection box you get at Walmart or theme decks all have the same odds at pulling a Secret Rare, which makes me want to go out there and buy more decks and start ripping them. Somebody did ask if there was any last minute spoilers, but he responded with 6 weeks out until UFO, so there's plenty on the way. So stay tuned for that. We're probably going to get a few more spoilers at least. Mike, what is your favorite cryptid from the set so far? And he said hasn't been released yet. So Mike's own favorite cryptid has not even been released. We might see it in some of these upcoming sets, but it's very interesting to think that his own favorite cryptid, he hasn't even released it yet. Mike, I know you said earlier UFO will stay at 100,000. Do you think you'll consider cutting future set print runs if it seems primary demand has waned? And he responded with, primary demand has increased, so no. And that kind of goes without saying because the popularity and the demand of the product has just gone up, even in, these recessive times. Will the Metazoo Beastie plushie teased a couple weeks ago be blind boxes, or will they be able to buy specific ones? And do they come with promo cards? And he said yes. And I believe that's to all of the above. So they will be coming in blind boxes, and they will come with promo cards. Will Seance have the same type of dark and mildly disturbing art as Nightfall? And he said darker. So I guess we're just getting ready for an all-on Poncho sets. nobody else but Poncho in this one, but either way, it's still pretty cool. Somebody responded with, or asked a question about Dogman, please, and if you see right here, they included a little picture of it, which I'm personally a fan of because Dogman is the closest local cryptid to where I live, and I would love to see Dogman come up through here, but he responded with, why he thick though? More vampire beasties when? And he responded with that smiley face, which means he cannot release more information. When's the Wind Aura gonna be introduced? And he said Yokai Island base. So once we move from North America to Japan and we start getting into Yokai, we will see the introduction of new auras. So how many New York City Rat King promos were actually made? And he said 398. Like, he gave us a specific number, so just shy of 400. So that's a pretty limited print. I did find this one humorous. Somebody asked, why do booster rappers point to Instagram and not the website or Discord? And Mike responded with, we should add those too, and tagged Green Star World. So a little bit of something, you know, like they didn't see, which doesn't happen very often, but still kind of funny, I'll say. So when and where will you attend your first European con? And he said, I'm going to TwitchCon in Amsterdam in a few weeks. So all of you European watchers out there, make sure you go to TwitchCon and you will get to see Mike. Is the timeline for Kickstarter still the month of July for shipping to start? And he replied with, we will update you soon on this, so expect some future updates. Stamps? Yes. So very cool. You can send out your Metazoo cards you buy and sell, or you send to your buddies, whatever, with Metazoo stamps coming soon. Have the Men in Black approached you with hush money yet? How many space credits did they offer you? And replied with, honestly, can't talk about that. And yeah, you don't want to talk about that. That's a bad move. Will there ever be future NFT token roadmaps? And he said, of course. Will the reserve list be updated soon? Yes. Will Rocky ever be immortalized in a Metazoo card? And he said, of course, he already is. He's a Hellhound. So if you got Hellhound, you definitely have a Rocky card. I'm curious, when can we expect an announcement about the next wave of crafter medals? Very soon. Expect that in the next coming weeks, I would say. Will any more evergreen casters be showing up soon other than Hero in the distant future? And again, that cryptic smiley face that says you can't give anything away, so that's kind of interesting. When will the WPT Kickstarter cards be shipped? And he said, update coming soon. Utility a possibility for airdropped NFTs? And he responded with, nope, if you want utility, get the tokens. So there you go, only way to get them. Is the book still on track for fall 2022 release? Are you having fun writing it and getting to flesh out the universe? He says, yes, I'm having a blast. So that means that book is coming out still in the fall of 2022. It is on track. That is exciting. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, he said, thanks everyone. That was a good one, indicating he had completed the Q&A, which, like I said, a lot of good stuff came out. Oh, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That was the Q&A that happened on the Discord. I believe it was supposed to be an hour long. It went a little bit over an hour, but that was all of the big pieces, the main pieces relating to Metazoo, serious questions that were asked. So I just kind of wanted to put it all in a short little video, even though this video is not really that short, so you guys could all kind of watch and see. There's a ton of other questions about, like silly things and like, are you doing good and all that kind of stuff. So if you want to fully see everything, you can go back to the chat, but I wanted to put all this out here so you guys didn't have to do that. But if you found this information useful and you enjoyed that I was able to pull this stuff out so that you didn't have to, please just give me a thumbs up on the video and subscribe to the channel if you are not already. Those are the biggest ways to help me. And but with that being said, thank you again for joining me, and we will see you in the next video.